I am Anil Kumar. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is where your request and our solutions meet. It's a learning platform for both of us. Keep contributing. In this video, we are going to decode a pattern. Write pattern rule, find next three terms, write explicit rule, and then find the 20th term. Couple of things to do. First is we need to find the pattern rule. Then next three terms means that explicit pattern rule so that you can find nth term without following this iterative way of figuring out the next term, right? And then find 20th term using the explicit rule. So I hope all the parts are clear to you. So let us analyze the pattern. The best way is to find the difference between each term. So what is 1 minus 0? So we do difference means 1 minus 0 and we get a term 1, right? Now then we will do 3 minus 1, right? 3 minus 1, which is 2. Then we'll do 6 minus 3, which is 3. And then we'll do 10 minus 6, which is 4. So if you follow this pattern, you see every successive term is addition by 1, 2, 3, 4, one more number each time, right? So the next term here is 15 minus 10, which is 5. And then we have 21 minus 15, which is 6. So what should be the next term? So in the next term, to get this term here, we will do what? We will add 21 and 6. So we get 27. You see that? So this term should be 27. So we added 6. Next time, what should we do? To get the next term, we have to add 7. So we'll do 27 plus 7, which is 34. So we get here the next term as 34. And next time, what are we going to do? We'll add 8. So 34 plus 8, right? So that gives me 42. So that is how we are going to continue with this pattern. So basically, if you have to describe this pattern, you could describe it as start at 1, 0, right? Start at 0, add 1, and then add one more each time, right? Add one more each time. So you'll get your sequence. Perfect. So this way of writing and describing a pattern is called iterative or recursive formula. Iterative or recursive method. So imagine if I have to find the 20th term. In that case, I should know the first 19 terms, right? So I'll just continue writing this pattern till the 19th term, then add something to get the 20th term. It becomes a very tedious process, so practically cannot use it to find large number of terms at random, right? For example, 100th term, right? It might take the whole day, right? Okay, so that is why we need explicit rule. So let's again look into this pattern. So here we have this pattern. We have understood we have to start with 0, add 1, then go to 3. So what we notice here is that to this number, you add 1 here, right? And then here you add 2. Next time you add 3. To get the next number, let me write with an arrow, it'd be easy to understand. You add increasingly by 1. Correct. So, so that becomes the method of doing it. So last time we did calculate these terms. So so when we added one after the other, we get all these terms. So that's not an issue. The issue here is, how do we figure out a rule? Now, one thing we notice that this is a non-linear pattern. Since this first difference is not constant, first difference is not constant, it's a non-linear pattern. How do we figure it out? So now let's look into the numbers once again. And what we notice here is that uh, we get numbers 0, 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, and 21. These numbers are also very famous, if I tell you that. They're called triangular numbers. So triangular numbers is like placed on a triangle. How? So let's try to understand these triangular numbers and then we'll also derive a rule. 0 means there is nothing and 1 means there is 1 point to begin with. Now, what happens if we add 2 points to it? We can form a triangle. So I'll just show you the triangle. As you can see now, we had nothing, right? And then we had 1, and then the next layer, if you include the one which we had, it is 3 points. Extending it further, we can still form a triangle, and the only way to form this sequence of triangles is to add, this time, 3 more points. So earlier we added 2 points to get one triangle. Now we added 3 more points, and how many triangles we got? Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles, but the points are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So number of vertices which we have of this equilateral triangles being formed. Next step, if I extend this, you see that the diagram is not very accurate, but if you try to make it, you see you add 1, 2, 3, 4 points now. So you added 2 points, 3 points, now 4 points. In all, we have 10 points. This stage. If you continue this pattern, you will have the number of points as 15 in the next diagram, then 21 in the next diagram. And since these points form triangles, we call them triangular numbers. Make sense? Okay, great. So you can actually extend. It's a good exercise. Let me just do one more. Right, so now we have added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we got total of 15 dots, vertices of the triangle, equilateral triangle of the size we started with in orange. You get the idea. That is what it is. Beautiful, right? It's a very, very important sequence, and that's why we are laying more stress on it. It will be always there in a test paper, some way or the other, if you're talking about patterns. Okay, So now we have to get a rule for this pattern. If it's such an important thing, why not get a rule? Okay. So let's try to analyze these numbers once again to get the rule. So the numbers are 0, 1, 3, 6, 10. Since we are adding different numbers and we know it's not a linear pattern, multiplication of two numbers help us. Okay. How do you get 10? How do you get 6? Well, 10 is 2 times 5, 6 is 2 times 3, 3 is 3 times 1, but that also does not give you any particular idea, right? How about this? If we use two different numbers as 0 times 1 divided by 2, right? You get 0, right? 0 times anything is 0. For the next number, it is position number 1. 1 times 2 divided by 2 actually gives me 1. And here, this is the second position, 2 times 3 divided by 2 will give me 3. And here, this is 1, 2, 3, fourth position. So 3 times 4 divided by 2 gives me 6. And here, this is the fifth position, 4 times 5 divided by 2 gives me 10. You get the whole idea. So now we have developed a way of finding the relation between these numbers. Let's go to a fresh page. So once again, what we are trying to do here is writing the numbers as product of 2 and half it. So that's the strategy, correct? So this is our first term, right? This is our second term, third term, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Okay. In the first term, it is 0 times 1 divided by 2. In the second term, it is 1 times 2 divided by 2. In the third term, it is 2 times 3 divided by 2. Then we have 3 times 4 divided by 2. Then we have 4 times 5 divided by 2. Then we have 5 times 6 divided by 2. Then we have 6 times 7 divided by 2. Correct? So if we go with this multiplication, we get all our numbers, right? So this is like clearly 21. So in the seventh term, we multiplied 6 and 7. So if we continue like this, right, and let's say this is the nth term. So in nth term, since we have started with 0 in this case, in the nth term, we will have to multiply n minus 1 times n divided by 2. So in this particular series, which starts with 0, the nth term is this. You get the whole idea. So that becomes our formula. So this we'll call as Tn. So you see how we have derived it, visualize it. Now let's answer the question, which is, so we got the explicit rule. This is called the explicit rule. Now let's find the 20th term. So T20 will be replace n with 20. Multiply by 20 over 2. 19 times 20. You can divide that, right? You get 10. So 190. So 190 is going to be the 20th term in this sequence. Is that clear to you? Right? So that is how we'll do it. And we found the 20th term using the formula, which is 190. Now I'm changing the question here. Generally, when we write this triangle, a pattern, in that case, we start with 1. We don't start with 0. So the sequence is actually 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, and so on, right? Now, what should be the nth term? That is the exercise for you. So, if we do not start with 0, but we start with 1, in that case, what should be the formula? I would like you to write down in the comments. And then tell me the 20th term using this formula. I hope you have understood the whole concept. Feel free to write your comments, share your views. In case you want to learn directly from me, you may send an email on globalmathinstitute@gmail.com. Thanks a lot for your valuable time and all the best.